I don't remember who started last time.
I think I did. You start.
Okay. Welcome back to the In Raw Life podcast. I am sleepy, number one. So I apologize that I don't sound quite the same as I usually do. I feel like I don't.
You sound the exact same to me.
I don't feel like I have the same pep in me. But I am super excited that you guys are here. I'm excited to be back talking about our 8 different forms of self-care that we can be showing up for ourselves, so we can show up for the world. But before we dive into all of that, I do want to remind everybody who's listening or watching, P.S. if you're listening, you can watch us on YouTube and get all of our hijinks. But I want you to open up wherever you're listening or watching and give us a rating, a review, subscribe. That just allows these platforms to know, hey, people really want this information, and then they'll share it with more people. Like, it's a free way for you to help others. Like, how exciting is that? And that's what we're all about.
Us, which is really kind of you if you want to do that.
That too. Exactly. Well, we are others to you.
We are others.
So just go ahead and do that. We absolutely love getting those and seeing them come in. And it just gives us more pep in our step so that we can bring you guys more
today, she says.
My coffee is until later, so you know.
Yes. Are you a 1 coffee at a day pregnant girl?
I mean, I'm a 1 coffee a day person in general, so yes.
I was a 1 coffee sipped all the way through the day. Like, I would come and sip it and be like, oh, and then come back like on the hour almost.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty much on my same coffee schedule as I was before.
Yeah.
Because
that's who you are.
Yeah, I can't handle more than 1. It's too much for me.
Well, in addition to helping others and helping us, why don't you help yourself as well? We would love to have you in our Facebook group, Work-Life Balance for Empowered, Unstoppable Women. That is there to encourage you. We have a lot of free trainings that we do there. They're very short, they're very actionable, and they're very fun. So go and check it out. Work-Life Balance for Empowered, Unstoppable Women. The link is in the show notes.
So, Sierra, you had a great idea to kind of talk about surrounding all self-care before we dive into today's 1 out of 8 self-care. So you want to share that?
Yeah. Okay. So obviously we're doing self-care this month and next month. And I think self-care is almost, while it sounds so nice, it's almost like a word we reject. No, it's just, yeah, right. Too good to be true. The same way that people reject making $1 million. Oh, I would never make $1 million one day. Those are I think self-care is put at that same, it'd be nice if, but highly unlikely status.
And at the same time, it's such a buzzword that some people are like, oh yeah. They reject it for that reason too. Oh yeah, Instagram worthy self-care.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Or win the lottery one day. That's more of a phrase that you hear often than make $1 million. I make my own words. Anyway, I digress. My point is that when we think of self-care, we often think of going to the spa, taking a bath, painting our nails, things of that nature. But there are so many different forms of self-care. That's why we're doing this series. And I feel like it's there's these little secret self-cares, because there is the self-care of taking care of yourself and your emotional, mental well-being. But there's these little secret self-cares that we can take care of that are power ninjas in our day. They come through and they're like, pow, 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 pow. And you don't even realize doing that little tiny thing, while it doesn't seem like typical self-care, it totally improves your self and your general well-being. So that is the lead up to today's secret self-care.
So yeah, today's
drum roll.
That is perfect, because today's self-care that we chose kind of at random, or completely at random, is practical self-care, which definitely isn't something that anyone, it's not going to be on the list of here's the things to do for self-care. It's not going to be listed up there with bath bombs and fuzzy slippers. But like the Instagram article, I call it an article because it basically is like you're scrolling through and you get to learn about it. This one, they say, it's the actions that we take every day for our core needs. Those simple, i.e. secret, yet mighty tasks, pow pow, that we do to reduce stress and center our lives. Like some examples that they give is cleaning your space or meal planning. And these are all things that we talk about within what we do to live our best lives. Like, to put it, can't even think the word. See, pregnancy brain is real, you guys. Words escape me. Anyway, hopefully you get my point.
Well, okay, so the first thought though that comes to mind is like, are you seriously telling me that cleaning is self-care? Because that sounds awful. I hate cleaning. That's the opposite of
correct.
So for all of you who are thinking that, I don't like cleaning either.
Neither of us do. We both push it off. Like the actual physical scrubbing, sweeping, cleaning is like.
In fact, I have worked my butt off to reorganize my finances so that I can hire a maid. I mean, she only comes once a month, but still, that's how much I hate cleaning. And in fact, hiring a maid is a form of self-care.
Correct. It is.
But what this is talking about is not the act of cleaning or the act of meal planning. It's the act of taking care of yourself, like doing a little something that's uncomfortable right now so that your mind can be at ease when it's done. Like the release of it being complete is the self-care.
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I mean, it's what we talk about a lot is, what can we make easier on ourselves? Like it takes some work and some habit forming. So that way, like space is clear, mind is clear, have more time to like do these other types of self-cares that maybe take more action from us that we also really, really enjoy the action. So practical self-care is, like taking care of the things that have to get taken care of so that you don't have to think about it and can go forth and enjoy the other things.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like the same as, going to therapy. Like that's another form of self-care, right? It's not always fun to go to therapy. It's definitely not fun when you're like digging through the dirt and like uncovering all this stuff. It's super uncomfortable in the moment, but you're doing it for the act of like bettering your mental space, your emotional space, all of it. Like your day is better when you go work through that stuff. Cleaning is the same way. And I think if we look at it as that, not as like, oh, I have to clean my entire house, but like, this is what we teach in our signature course is cleaning your space that is like immediately in front of you. Because that's like when you're sitting there all day especially if you work from home or you're a stay-at-home mom and you're in, the living room or the kitchen all day, you're just looking at that stuff over and over. And what it's doing is your mind is saying, oh, I got to take that to the kids' room. Oh, I need to check that mail. That stack of mail is still sitting there. And I know there's a bill in there I have to pay. Every single time you walk by, and you probably walk by that mail stack, I don't know, at least 15 times a day. That's being generous. And so every time you walk by, your brain is thinking that again. Same with meal planning. What am I going to make for dinner tonight? Every single day over and over. Whereas if one day a week, you simply write down all of the stuff you're going to eat for the upcoming week, it takes you 5 minutes to plan through all of that. Then you know exactly what to get at the grocery store. Then you know exactly what to lay out every morning. If you forget, you go back to your meal plan. You're like, oh, right. Chicken tonight. Gonna lay that out. It's so simple.
So often I forget. I'm like,
yes,
I've had this planned for a month because I plan meals like a month at a time just to like get it over with.
Done.
And I'm like, oh, let me just see what I'm having tomorrow. Oh, I need to take chicken out. Done.
No,
don't have to think about it. Even if you're not home all day, like you're working 9 to 5 somewhere else, even better reason, because you come home and you're not now bombarded when you're tired from working of the day with like, what am I going to have for dinner? Oh my gosh, this house is a mess. Like you get to come home to a nice, serene home for yourself.
And when you're working all day, you've been thinking all day, you've been making decisions all day. You don't have the energy to make one more decision. I mean, Jessica talks about how sometimes her daughter can't even think about what socks to wear. She's made too many decisions. Like that is a simple thing that's exhausting. Meal planning is an even more exhausting thought because there's a lot more prep work. So once it's done and thought of, oh, so much easier. You know what? I want you, if you don't mind, I would love for you to take a picture of your monthly meal plan because I need some inspiration. I eat the same meals every week.
So this is how I came up with this was another form of self-care that I wanted to take even more off my mind of meal planning. Cause I would come and I write it, on each day, like for 4 weeks in a row in my planner. So it's not like on a one shot deal. I was like, even this, I'm like, I'm getting tired of figuring out what the heck to make. And like my life is busy right now. I don't want to make bigger meals, yada, yada. So I literally in my bullet journal, and I'll send you a picture, decided on like 10 or 12 meals that we rotate through each season. So I made it like seasonal. So that also makes sense. Cause like, when it's cold out, I really want warm dishes, but when it's hot out, I don't want a hot dish. I want salads and wraps and stuff. So I made like a whole, like each, I'll find it later, each season. And I like keep some of our favorites throughout. And like, no matter what, even around that, it would help it go further, like meals go further and not feeling like we're eating the same thing every night. Every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday in my house. Right now, every Sunday is Pita Pizza Sunday with like vegetables on the side. And every Thursday is a pasta dish. So that way, because I don't my body, it doesn't work for my body to have pasta more than once a week. Like it's just, it drives me crazy. Like I get bloaty and all that stuff. So I'm like pasta one night a week and we rotate. Even that is like 6 different pasta dishes that I rotate through that I know we all love and are good all year round. But yeah, I'll send you my ideas.
I would love to see that. Even you just talking about that has inspired some of the things that have fallen off my radar. Because like when you get in a slumpy season of meal planning, like I've been busy now. So I've like some of the things have fallen off my recipe list because they take too much time.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh, I could make that. That doesn't take that much time if you give it a little forethought. So,
and then even like, weekends, you have more time, like just say, okay, weekend days aren't part of this easy rotation. And like Saturday nights, I'll plan something like we haven't had in a while that's exciting that takes a little longer.
Yeah. That's what I started doing.
You don't get bored.
Yeah.
And then you're like almost excited. Ooh, like fall is coming and I get to make broccoli rice casserole again.
That is not the fall dish I thought you'd pick. I felt like you would say like butternut squash, pumpkin something. You're like broccoli rice.
Oh, broccoli rice casserole is one of the favorites in our household.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I wanted it the other day. I was like, I should make that soon.
I think you can.
I'm also pregnant right now. So
I was gonna say,
no, I wasn't saying that I can't. I was just like, ooh, I should do that soon because I want it.
Got it. I thought you were like strict, like this is fall only. Cannot eat it in spring.
Yeah, I think I even made it like a 2-season dish because it's that good.
Yeah, we've got a dish like that. That's pretty tasty. Anyway, I love all of this. So super helpful.
Practical self-care. I mean, there's plenty of other things, even just like picking your clothes for the week, setting out like any sort of former planning that helps you take care of future you is practical self-care, I would say.
Where you could be like, thanks, past Sierra, you really got my back.
No, seriously, I do that sometimes. I'm like, holy cow, past Jessica, I am so grateful for you because this just made this so much easier.
Yeah.
And that just makes me feel better too, because I'm like happy, grateful to myself, which just perpetuates.
Which boosts your confidence, which makes you feel even better. Like that's self-care.
Anything. My pep is here. I don't need coffee.
Yeah, you don't. I do.
I just need it later when, all of a sudden I'm like, oh shoot, I cannot think of creative thoughts right now.
You know why?
Because I'm a lion.
Because you're a lion. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I'm also going to drop a link in the show notes about our new
Well,
energy.
wait.
What?
I wanted to talk about something else that's happening next week in
What?
May when this airs.
What's happening next week?
So we're talking about practical self-care, right?
Right.
And we're talking about planning and decluttering for ourselves to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And today is the second Thursday in May when this is actually going to air, which means 1, 2, 3 days from now, no, 2 days from now, because we're starting on a Sunday, is our first ever challenge.
3 days from May 2nd?
From May 12th.
From May 12th. I thought you said this. Okay. Yes. Yes. I'm totally with you now.
So as we're recording this right now, we are putting it together and we are so excited for you guys to take part in this. So we don't have an official name yet because we're working on the name, but the challenge starts on Sunday and you can still sign up. It's only $7 and it's $7 for 7 days of Sierra and Jessica helping you do the practical self-care, like keeping you accountable, showing you the exact steps to take each day for a different area to do these practical self-care things so that you can feel just better about life.
Yeah. We're going to hold your hand through it to make it more fun than just like, oh, I have to clean the kitchen again, or I have to fold the laundry or whatever. So it's going to be like 15 minutes a day of us like holding your hand and hanging out with you while you do whatever the practical self-care things that need to get done. And we don't have a name yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be named something awesome, like how to finally organize your day or how to finally get your shit together. Something
Exactly.
akin to that.
Correct. Yeah. If Jessica was naming it, it would definitely be the second one.
Yes.
But I can't wait for you guys to take part in it. So if you haven't signed up yet, make sure that you do. We will put that link
is
in the show notes.
And if you want to know what the other thing is, we'll have to tell you about it on a future episode. So keep listening. Good call, Jess. That's how perfect that fits in.
I know.
Like, which self-care should we cover today? Oh, by the way, like here, this worked out.
Everything happens for a reason. Everything has its perfect place.
Like also the fact that your brain processed when this would air, like you're exhausted and pregnant, and you.
I pulled up our calendar.
Still, I'm impressed.
Oh, that's the lion in me. This is my time.
This is your time to shine. Whereas the bear in me needs another cup to get myself
in another hour or so.
Yep. Well, I think that we freaking did it again.
We did.
I really hope that you guys take on some of these things. I know they sound daunting, but you got this. And if you need some encouragement, yes, exactly. If you need some encouragement, join our challenge because we would love to walk you through it and help you just by sticking with us for 7 days in a row. It's going to give you a little bit of a habit to be able to do so the next Monday, you're like, oh, this is the time I did this every single day and it worked. So even though we won't be with you the next Monday, the habit still will be, which is,
you'll have a really cool, practical workbook that's going to help you organize your thoughts and stay on task too, that you can take with you.
Yes. So anyway, thanks for coming back every time. We'd also love for you to be part of the show. So if you want to do that, send us a clip of what balance means to you, and we might feature you at the beginning of our show. You can send that to hello@inrawlife.com.
Until next week, I can't wait to see all of you popping up in our challenge because it is time to get your shit together, girl. Bye.
Boom.